All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the Detroit Lions. This is a very, very special football team. They believe in Jared Goff. They believe in each other. They believe in the vision. They believe and are bought into the culture. And what they went through last season, if I walked up to any NFL fan who didn't know how the season went last year and I said, listen, the Detroit Lions last year started the season 1-6. They finished as the fourth worst defense in the entire league. What was their final record? Not a single soul would tell me 9-8. I have no idea how the Detroit Lions pulled that off. Well, actually, I do, because they're a rising, young, breakout team for this upcoming season, but it's a huge reason why they are my pick to win the NFC North. They will make the playoffs. I think they'll win a playoff game. This is coming from a cheesehead. Damn straight I'm scared of the Lions. Yes, I'm scared of the Lions for this season, and I'm scared of the Lions in the very long term, and we're going to talk about why in today's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Lions fans, I love you guys so much, especially as a former Northville native. Let's try and get this video to 500 likes. That would mean the absolute world to me. So defensively, I know we just went through 3 preseason games. We'll talk about the defense at the end of the video. They had 11 sacks in 3 preseason games. All right, I just want to throw that in there. Jared Goff and the Lions offense, they're going to be better than they were last season. And the reason that's terrifying is because they put up 27 points per game last year. 7 points per game. That is insane. Jared Goff is a freaking baller. Dude, this is the former first pick in the draft for a reason. He had 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, but their team only got better. And I want to talk about Sam Laporta real quick, because Sam, to me, is going to be wide receiver number 2 for this squad next season. Yes, I know he is a tight end, but especially until Jameson Williams comes back from his suspension, watch out for Sam Laporta. In minicamp, in rookie minicamps, in training camp, in preseason games, everybody, top to bottom, Dan Campbell, Jared Goff, every single teammate, every single coach has had nothing but good praise for Sam Laporta. And I want to say this, Sam Laporta will have over 600 receiving yards this upcoming season, even as a rookie. In his final year at Iowa, let me tell you this, he was their offense. Now, Iowa isn't necessarily known for their pass game. In fact, Sam Laporta had over 33% of yards for that team last year. He finished with 657 receiving yards. Their quarterback threw for 1,800 yards. Sam Laporta was their passing offense. Finished with 58 catches, 657 yards, and a touchdown. I would anticipate his rookie season to look very similar, but we will see an uptick in touchdowns. I guarantee you he's going to be a huge red zone threat. He's going to be a huge favorite immediately for Mr. Jared Goff, and it's going to help take this Lions offense to the next level because you have the run game figured out. You know, you picked up David Montgomery from rivals Chicago Bears. David Montgomery is a very underappreciated running back in the National Football League. He's been around for 4 years. His lowest rushing total was last year with Chicago, and he still rushed for 800 yards. He still averaged 4 yards per carry. He still had 5 touchdowns. He still caught 316 receiving yards. So you have David Montgomery, who is your reliable back, right? But now you bring in a playmaker in the first round. You draft a running back in the first round, which is something we rarely see in today's day and age of the NFL. Well, they did that. They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs out of the University of Alabama, and he is the definition of a playmaker. There are so many playmakers on this offense. Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams. One underrated aspect of this Lions pass attack is their depth. You know, I take a look at guys like Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond. These were important and integral pieces to the Lions offense last season. Keep in mind, you rarely ever, in fact, you pretty much never have a fully healthy wide receiver room. We see it immediately. Amon-Ra St. Brown's a little banged up right now. Jameson Williams is going to be missing the first quarter or first third of the season due to a suspension. You need depth at the receiving position. So I love that they have 2 guys in the backfield that can catch the ball, in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have new addition who's been with your team before in Marvin Jones Jr., who's a super solid, sturdy reliable wide receiver to have. You bring in a guy like Sam Laporta, you still have James Mitchell, Brock Wright at tight end, and you still have deeper down your depth chart, Josh Reynolds and Khalif Raymond. I'm really curious at the time of this recording, we don't have the official roster. Very curious to see if Antoine Green's going to make that roster because he's a playmaker as well to me. But the point still stands. This Lions offense is extremely deep, and their secret weapon, I'm using air quotes here because it's not a secret if you're a Lions fan, their offensive line is OP. It's an OP offensive line. You are set at O-line. So offensively, Detroit, they're going to improve than they were last season. I wouldn't be surprised if they put up close to 30 points this upcoming season. They have all sides. You've got the offense, you've got the quarterback, you got the run game, you got the receivers, you got the O-line. There are no flaws, in my opinion, with this Lions offense. All the question marks, as we mentioned, are going to come in on defense. They ranked 28th in the league this past season. It was not a great statistical year for them. They weren't good with passing. They weren't good with running. They improved severely by the end of the season. I remember that Green Bay Packers game. The Lions, they only gave up 10 points to Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. They only gave up 16 to a healthy A-Rod and the Green Bay Packers in a win-or-go-home game. That was just, it was huge. Even though the Lions didn't make the playoffs, that was a huge, impressive victory, especially considering they beat the Packers both times last season, which I'm not a huge fan of, but neither here nor there. Good for the Detroit Lions. But they bring in, they had existing young talent. Aiden Hutchinson coming off an incredible rookie season. You've got extremely talented young players coming on over as well, and Jack Campbell, rookies, Brian Branch. But then you also filled it out with veterans like Cameron Sutton, CJ Gardner-Johnson. This defense is going to be at least middle of the pack this upcoming season. At least middle of the pack. I actually love their linebackers. You got Jack Campbell, you got Alex Anzalone, you got Derek Barnes, James Houston, Malcolm Rodriguez. There's a lot of young, talented pop at that linebacker position, along with their secondary. I think the secondary improved greatly. You've got Cameron Sutton coming on over from Pittsburgh. You have Kirby Joseph coming off an incredible rookie season, who pretty much was my arch nemesis, and I think Aaron Rodgers would agree with me this past season. You bring in a veteran who isn't even necessarily a veteran, just a ball hawk in CJ Gardner-Johnson. I remember making a video. That was super late at night. They picked up CJ Gardner-Johnson at like 11 o'clock Eastern time, and I remember hopping up back on the mic and being like, is this real? Did they actually just get CJ Gardner-Johnson? That is a huge move in and of itself. And then they also have good quality depth with guys like Tracy Walker III at the safety position. And new addition, hopefully he's healthy, ASAP Emmanuel Mosley coming on over from San Francisco. I'm loving the defensive line. Aiden Hutchinson, Aleem McNeil, I think is poised for a breakout season. I like John Kaminsky coming back. The Lions defense at worst to me is going to be middle of the pack. Offensively, you're going to be top 5. That's 10 plus wins, especially in the NFC North. So this is a team not only to fear for this season, but they're a team to fear for the many years with all this young talent that they had last year and that they only got more of this season. So watch out for the Lions, although it does seem like the NFL media and NFL fans have finally realized that. It did take some time, but watch out for this Lions team. Guys, that's it for today. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. If you want more Lions videos, let me know down below. But how many wins do the Lions finish with this upcoming season?